Welcome back to another episode of Legacy of Leaders. I'm Steve Strum. We have an opportunity to have another interview with Kelleah Speichinger from the Spice Insurance Services Agency. I think I got it all right. Oh, man.
Got it.
I completed a sentence. I think we should probably cut it now. Thanks for coming back. I know in a previous episode, you're very welcome. It's cool stuff we're going to talk about today. In a previous episode, we talked about what you do, and you do health insurance, group plans for businesses.
Correct.
Today, I think we're going to talk a little bit about kind of why that's so important to business owners. And I think we were talking a little bit offset. Love to get your thoughts and feedback. I think you mentioned that companies spend 15 minutes talking about this stuff. But it is like the most important thing for the employees and for the business owner, possibly the most significant cost, as well as a recruitment and retention tool. Talk to us a little bit about what you do in that frame and fashion to speak to those business owners that are going, yeah, I need to look at that.
Absolutely. So if you think back to previous jobs where you've been giving the options for benefits, right? It's a 15-minute presentation, you mark the box, you get a card in the mail, and then a lot of times you don't think about it until you have to go to the doctor, you're trying to go in your wallet to find your card, you're not even sure who your preferred providers are, what your benefits are, things like that. That can cost the business owner quite a bit of money. So for example, last week I was making tacos and I cut my finger and I knew that I could utilize urgent care and that would be more cost effective than going to the emergency room. And so there's little cost saving tricks of the trade, and if employers are not having a broker educate their employees about how to do that, then the next year's claims experience for that owner can be really high. So you could see a 10%, a 15%, a 20% increase on your monthly premiums because the plans weren't used appropriately.
So talk to us a little bit about what is a claims experience, because some people may not understand that other than what it means to their bottom line. What does that mean, and how do you educate their employees on how to mitigate some of those costs, but at the same time utilize the benefits to the full advantage that they're getting in their package?
So when we start with the employer offering benefits, we're really looking at the type of plan that they choose. And employers with over 50 employees have to offer benefits. And for a lot of employers, it's kind of a landmark when you are big enough or when you are successful enough to be able to offer benefits, right? It's something that's very nice to do for your employees. So we start with the employer offering benefits and the employer picking out a plan or multiple plans and getting those plans to their employers, or to their employees rather. So the employer gets the plans to the employees. Now, if you as the employee go and make a bunch of claims because you have a cough and you don't go to your primary care physician. In fact, you don't even go to urgent care. You'll wait till 10:30 and now everything's closed. You need to go to the ER. That's a more expensive visit than it would have been to go just see your primary care physician or even hop on your telehealth options. So at the end of the year, insurance companies take a look at your claims experience. So similar to when you have a driving record and you get a deduction or you get good driving points for your property and casualty insurance, the same thing happens in the health insurance field, and some people are not aware of that.
Gotcha. So I have teenagers, so sometimes my premiums go the other way. Right. So it's either way, right? Up or down, based off of criteria. And so as people are watching this, I guess what would be that step that business owner, because the business owners, they're busy, right? Everybody's busy, right? I get it. We are just 24/7 demand information. Everybody's running around crazy.
Yes.
The business owner is going to say, you know what? Yeah, I need to talk about that. But then they're going to probably have, once they've kind of called the play, you almost sound like you work as an attaché to them from an HR role, or partner with their HR person if they have, if they're large enough to have that person, which they should. And then you basically almost act as an ad hoc consultant to help make sure that you're getting the best benefit, but then also keeping the premiums low so they can keep the benefit so it keeps the employees happy. How do you differentiate yourself in the world that is probably just everybody's out there needing to get this, but they don't know that vehicle? Like, how do you differentiate? You know what, you need me because of this?
So that's a really good question. And sometimes people don't know if they need me or not. And so it starts with that conversation.
Who doesn't need you?
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I mean, an individual person that maybe is not working, but I can help them find insurance other ways. But I would say that if you have 3 or more employees, you need me. So I was just talking to someone that owns a chiropractic office. And so there are a lot of treatments that doctor can provide, but then there are a lot of treatments that doctor can't provide. And he has 2 employees, and it's himself and his wife, so that's a 4-person group. And we started looking at what does that specific plan look like. So the reason that you need me is that I will take a look at your specific plan, wants, needs, and build something for you. So when you say, hey, I have a friend and they need health insurance, I'm not just going to pull a file out of my briefcase and hand it to you or send them a Google Drive. I'm actually going to do a needs assessment, ask them questions, and then build a specific plan for them. The other really important thing is that if business owners just wait until their open enrollment comes up, which is typically a month before their open enrollment, they don't have a lot of options. They don't have a lot of time to shop around for rates. So I would say the advice is 3 months before your open enrollment starts. So for example, if you want to have health insurance for your business starting March 1st, your open enrollment window really is February to March. Well, you really want to be looking in December or January for rates and options and shopping around, because otherwise, if your rates increase, you just have to sign and move on to the next year because you've run out of time. So really planning ahead as a business owner and prioritizing your insurance is important.
So it's not just about cost containment, but also value. So it may not be the price is right, but one could argue if you get put on the job, the spice is right.
The spice is right.
Yeah, you feel free to take that one.
I love that.
In all sincerity, though, thank you so much for coming and kind of walking through that as as we're trying to navigate these things as business owners. Really appreciate your insight and what you're doing to differentiate yourself in the community.
Thank you.
But we can't do it without these guys. So guys, thank you so much for joining us today on Legacy of Leaders. If you like the episode, share it, and remember, live with gratitude. But in this case, the spice is right.